birds, and Knight's cavalry only appear at night and are completely absent during the daytime, so there's simply no way any single player can see everything by themselves. So side note, if you die to one of these bosses, then you get sent back to a silent race, and the time reverts back to morning, so you have to rest and pass time again until it's night if you want another try at the boss. This is such an annoying oversight that I'm hoping it gets patched out, and this little aside becomes an irrelevant waste of time in an already lengthy video. Thanks for watching, by the way. Speaking of patches, I completely missed this hideaway in mid-grade on my first playthrough. I only came back to find it much later after a friend clued me in that he was in the game. I likewise missed the Crystal Cave under Rhea Lucaria, the Rhine Blood Ruins in the Altar Plateau. It wasn't until my second playthrough that I discovered a secret area in the Stormvale Castle with the Godskin place with the trailer. I actually still have no idea where this lift near one of the chambers in the castle leads to. I'm certain there are many more secret spots that I never found. Despite that, I don't feel like I missed out by accidentally bypassing these areas in my original playthrough, and there are two reasons for that, both related to the rewards Elden Ring gives you for exploring and completing dungeons. Naturally, first and foremost, there's the intrinsic satisfaction of beating a challenging dungeon or a difficult boss, and it's this rewarding feeling that the entire Souls series exists to cultivate. We struggle down any lane and get very far in one of these games, and they were driven at least in part by this intrinsic motivation. On top of that though, you're also usually given extrinsic rewards in the form of weapons, armor sets, spells, ashes for summoning, resources for upgrading equipment, and plenty of runes to level up your character and increase your stats. Because of character specialization, a lot of items you get as a reward for beating challenges, I've seen the majority of them are useless to you. Spells, for instance, with no good skills and strength-based character have the stats to use them. Some effort was made to alleviate this, as Physic Tears, Ashes of War, and Summoning Ashes can be used by most builds and characters, making them an easy prize to put in a chest or at the end of a dungeon. But even then I found myself barely experimenting with these features, because there was usually only one clear way to maximize the efficiency of my strength build. And even if I wanted to use summons, I didn't have enough FP to cast most of them. You might say this is on me for being narrow-minded and refusing to explore the different options the game was giving me, but I don't think I'm solely to blame here. In previous Souls games, many items given as a reward were useless to you if you were already focused on a certain build for your character, but it wasn't a big problem there because most bosses had an additional extrinsic motivation to fighting them, namely that by defeating them, you were able to go past them and into the next part of the game. This was a simple but extremely effective carrot to dangle in front of the player, because everything in Elden Ring is optional. That trick is almost never enough, and it's another way that the amount of freedom given to the player makes the experience. Okay, so you get from being challenges might not always work, but at least the game has its good old intrinsic reward to fall back on, right? Well, for the most part, yes, and for the first half of my playthrough, I was always excited to see what was behind every corner at the end of every dungeon. I realized early on that the chest at the top of each magic rise contained an extra memory slot with spells, which was of course useless to me, but I continued to complete the puzzles and get into each one anyway because I enjoyed the unique challenges. About halfway through the game, however, I started to see repeated bosses. I began to get a bit tired of exploring the same category and jumping down the exact same mine shaft in a dozen places around the map. I know this is mostly due to bad luck, but when I happened to do a few catacombs back-to-back that have a tree spirit boss fight at the end of them, I wasn't particularly thrilled about fighting the same boss all over again. I just planned to come back later when I wasn't bored by the idea. There are one or two rematch fights that actually introduce something new, but I would have been equally happy if I only fought the boss once, and the second phase introduced the new changes. The most disappointing example of reused bosses for me was in the Everjail fights, which I first assumed would each be unique. I'm no law master, but it seemed like each of these Everjails was a prison made to seal someone away for a heinous crime. They got my imagination fired up to think about what the Crucible Knight or Bloodhound Knight Darrell could have done to get locked up for all eternity. Picture my disappointment then, when I ran into the and then another one just clipped into.
Dude, I'll fucking shut this game off now. I don't care.
Your mileage may vary.
Like, what do you think? How much do you think I fucking care? I don't. Stop. Holy shit.
The importance I'd attributed to my fights with the Everjail prisoners. Still, at least they don't reuse any of the main story bosses. Oh wait, they do. This brawl with Godfrey the Grafted really soured me on the repeated boss fights in the game, and even when I encountered a boss I hadn't seen before, I found myself wondering how long it would be before the game threw them at me again. With so much of the game being optional, it's absolutely possible to miss or intentionally skip huge parts of the game instead of the ending having had a satisfying experience, and I'm curious whether that fact emboldens